There are many videos and articles out there on how to use the verbs savoir and connaître in French. Both of these translate to know in English, but each one has its own specific meanings and nuances. So in this video, I want to go through these different meanings, but explain them from an English speaker's perspective. Du coup, si vous êtes prêts, allez, c'est parti. Right, so we're going to start with the most commonly used forms and build up to the more advanced ones. So stick around or have a click through the chapters of the video to find exactly what you're stuck with. First of all, to know something or someone in the sense of being familiar with them. Think of it like this. If what you want to say could also be expressed as I'm familiar with, then use connaître. Tu connais la chaîne French in Plain Sight? Oui, je la connais. Tu connais la chaîne French in Plain Sight? Oui, je la connais. Je ne connais pas ce type. Je ne connais pas ce type. I don't know this guy, or I'm not familiar with this guy. Ils doivent connaître les dangers. Ils doivent connaître les dangers. Est-ce que vous connaissez notre programme de fidélité? Est-ce que vous connaissez notre programme de fidélité? For example, in a supermarket. Do you know about our loyalty program? Are you familiar with our loyalty program? Our next meaning is to know a fixed amount of information on something or someone. A fixed amount of information on something or someone. For this, you can either use savoir or connaître. They're interchangeable. Par exemple, ne pense pas seulement à tes fautes. Tu connais déjà plein de mots en français. Or, ne pense pas seulement à tes fautes. Tu sais déjà plein de mots en français. T'as raison, t'as raison. Mais il y en a beaucoup que je ne connais pas. C'est difficile. Ou il y en a beaucoup que je ne sais pas. C'est difficile. Ne t'inquiète pas, ça va venir. Non, je ne sais pas les horaires d'ouverture de la piscine. Non, je ne connais pas les horaires d'ouverture de la piscine. D'accord, je regarderai son site web alors. Next we have knowledge of a fact or an action. For this we use savoir, but not just savoir, but savoir que. For example, je sais que tu es très occupé, mais tu dois trouver du temps pour le français. Je sais que tu es très occupé, mais tu dois trouver le temps pour le français. Alice ne veut pas que tu partes. Oui, je sais. And here it is je sais que, but the rest is implied because it's already been said in the first part. Oui, je sais qu'elle ne veut pas que je parte. Ensuite, we have to know or to learn more about something. Very specific category this. Often you'll see en savoir plus sur on buttons or links on websites. This is the equivalent to learn more about or to know more about. For example, on this car website I found, there's pour en savoir plus sur nos modèles, followed by a link demande d'information. And on another, en savoir plus sur nos mesures sanitaires, with a link on the last three words. So that's en savoir plus sur quelque chose, to know more or to learn more about something. Now, a common expression, especially in spoken French, is j'en sais rien, which is when you don't know anything about something, but it's stronger than je sais pas. More like, I have no idea about that. For example, pourquoi il n'est pas là? On s'est dit 5 heures. On s'est dit 5 heures. You say, j'en sais rien, moi. J'en sais rien, moi. I have no idea. Next up is to know how to do something. To know how to do something. In French, you don't need to translate the how into comment. It's simply implicit in the sentence. You just put savoir plus the verb for the action. For example, je sais conduire, mais je n'ai pas de voiture. Je sais conduire, mais je n'ai pas de voiture. I know how to drive, or I can drive, but I don't have a car. Il n'a pas su lire avant d'avoir 10 ans. Il n'a pas su lire avant d'avoir 10 ans. He didn't know how to read until he was 10. He couldn't read until he was 10. So you notice that in English I use can or couldn't in those examples. We tend to use can more than know how to in English, but in French they typically will use the form savoir plus the action verb more often. And in fact, using the verb pouvoir for can won't express the same thing. So if you want to talk about a skill you have, you know how to do something, then use savoir plus the verb. Ensuite, we have knowledge of something secret or controversial or mysterious or something that provokes emotion. This is one of my favorites on this list because it's more advanced and I've never been taught it. I just found it through reading a lot of subtitles and hearing it in movies and TV shows. So this is expressed with savoir pour.
Sylvain, je sais pour toi et Alice. De quoi tu parles? Je sais pour votre aventure. Je sais. Oh mon Dieu. Oui, c'est vrai. J'ai pas encore dit à Thibaut que je sais pour l'argent, hein? Bien, parce qu'il est trop tôt.
Tap je sais pour into something like reverso context, and I think you'll pretty quickly understand the kind of situations in which to use je sais pour. Next is to meet someone, or to find out about someone, or even to discover something, right? And this will be clearer in the following examples. Comment avez-vous connu notre société? And this is pretty formal, but it's quite common to see this on surveys, questionnaires sent to you by companies. And it means, how did you find out? How did you discover our company? How did you know about us? And they use connaître here. Comment avez-vous connu notre société? Vous vous êtes connu comment? Vous vous êtes connu comment? You can ask two people or more, how did they meet each other? How do they know each other? With connaître in the past tense. Next up, we have to know about, as in to have a skill in something. This uses s'y connaître. S'y connaître. Now, this is used both affirmatively and negatively, but much more affirmatively, at least in my experience. It's often combined with en when you want to explicitly say what you know about or are good at. So, for example, je m'y connais en tennis. Je m'y connais en tennis. I know a lot about tennis. Or, I'm good at tennis, but in the sense that your knowledge is deep, not necessarily that you are skilled at playing tennis. Excusez-moi, ma voiture est en panne. Vous vous y connaissez en mécanique? Vous vous y connaissez en mécanique? So imagine you've broken down on the side of the road, you see someone, you ask them, are they any good with cars, with mechanics? Vous vous y connaissez? Vous vous y connaissez en mécanique? And the person or yourself can reply, oui, je m'y connais un peu. Oui, je m'y connais. A sort of synonym of s'y connaître, and in my experience mainly for negative sentences, and in the experience of a couple people I asked about this, is y connaître. So no S. I hear it a lot with people saying j'y connais rien. I don't know anything about that. And also the rhetorical question implying an answer of rien, something like les maths? Qu'est-ce que j'y connais, moi? Les maths? Qu'est-ce que j'y connais? This is implying I don't know anything about maths. So that's also one of my favorite ones on this list, but it is more complicated. Voilà, all the ways I can think of to say to know in French from an English speaker's perspective. If you want a complete list, you can download a PDF from my website, available via the link down in the video description. And don't feel bad if you need to come back to the video plenty of times in order to revise your knowledge, because there's a lot here that we've covered, a lot of nuances. And remember, the more in-context exposure you get to the French language, the more intuitive this stuff will become. Bon français tout le monde, merci beaucoup d'avoir regardé. À la prochaine. Ciao.